I told you that I was going to title Daddy Why. I grew up with an alcoholic father. It's really hard for me to talk about because he did pass away 10 years ago, and we did kind of rekindle our relationship at some point when I was older. But during my child years, he would have a threshold where he would drink and be a functioning alcoholic until around 9 o'clock at night. I mean, it got to the point where I could time it. It was between 8 and 9 that he would just get pretty violent and upset, and he would lash out at me, and um, it was hard. He would call me names and call me a slut and call me a whore. And to hear that as a child over and over again, I thought, well, my dad doesn't, I would always validate it somehow. I would be, my dad doesn't beat the crap out of me. It's okay. I have it so good. I have it better than other people. But I didn't realize at the time that those words and the way that he would treat me, he would get mad at me and act like a child and give me the silent treatment until I apologized, even if it was something that he would say to me. And at that time, I couldn't understand. All I wanted was for him to love me and to treat me right. And I watched my mom go through making excuses for him and make justifying the way that he was acting, and she would stick up for me and everything, but she would always try to come up with something of a reason the way he was acting. Oh, your dad's tired. Oh, he just had too much to drink. And like I said, I thought since I didn't have that physical abuse and I was fine, my dad loved me. But then later on in life, how your parents treat you becomes how you view yourself. Your self worth, your self confidence, everything comes from the way your parents are towards you. And so I have been constantly reaching out and looking for that validation in anybody that I could. I was married at 18 years old and pregnant, and I reached out for that because I didn't have that love growing up. And it didn't matter how anyone treated me. It was just as long as they loved me, I needed that. I needed that. It didn't matter. It was that validation to me that I had that love in my life, that emptiness that I felt because of my father. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand why I was having such hard times with relationships and why I was finding such toxic relationships. And it all stemmed back to the way that my father had treated me because I didn't know my self worth. I had those constant reminders of the things that he would say to me running over and over and over in my head to the point that I actually believed them. And it's taken me till now almost to realize that was the defining thing that has led me down this path in my life, and why I've never had the confidence that I should have had. I could have people telling me, "You're such a great person, you're beautiful." I didn't believe them. I would think, I would look in the mirror and think, how could anybody love me or think I was beautiful? Why are these people saying this to me? Am I a good person? That self doubt, that constant name calling running over and over in my head killed my confidence, killed everything, my self worth, everything that I had in me was killed by my father. And it's taken me a very long time to realize that. I mean, almost up until now, through the toxic relationships that I've been with and through everything that I've put up with. And my point being with this video is that no matter how painful it is for you. I am 37 years old. I lost my dad at 27 years old. And no matter how painful it is for you, you have got to find the root of the problem. You've got to look back. There is something that if you can't find in yourself the goodness and the love and the beauty in yourself, in your soul, then you need to look back and find the root of the problem. And it is one hell of a journey, and it is very, very painful once you finally figure it out, because your parents had you. They're supposed to be your cheerleaders. They're supposed to give you everything you want, and when that doesn't happen, not everything you want, but make you feel amazing about yourself, and when that doesn't happen, you're missing out on a piece of something that you should have had right from the beginning. It's a developmental thing that you need to work on. You basically have to reparent yourself and say, look, I'm good enough. I am a good person. I am beautiful. I have a beautiful heart. I have a beautiful soul. I am not these things that my father said, and I will not let it define me. And I will not keep making the same mistake over and over and over. I get into toxic relationships that people don't actually really care for me, or I want to just save them because I learned that from my mother nonstop, trying to help my dad over and over and over again, giving him another chance, going back and forth. So I have this, I want to fix you, I want to save you, I will find a stranger out on the street and think, oh my gosh, I can change him, I can fix him. And that's a problem within me, and that is something that I will always struggle with, and that I have to realize, to recognize the red flags that I'm starting to go down that cycle again. And basically, you just have to learn to love you enough to know that you deserve better. Whether you are in a relationship with an abuser, an addict, anything like that, they will drag you down and drag you through the mud and chew you back out, and you will feel like nothing unless you have that foundation of what you're worth, and you know that. You cannot change anybody. It's up to them to save themselves, and you will drown yourself trying to save them. So, this is my first video that I'm putting out there. There's a lot of other topics that I will dig into deeper as far as depression and anxiety, because those go hand in hand with what I'm talking about too. And multiple sclerosis, I can go into my disease. I have progressive MS, and I am still on chemotherapy for it, and I've been on that for the past couple years. And there's a lot of techniques that I've used of balancing out your head and your heart, and how mental health and physical health are very important to everyone, just as important. So many people want to fix everything that is sick about them physically, but mentally, you have to stabilize yourself. They go hand in hand. And working out and feeling good about yourself, that helps with your mental health. Everything is connected with yourself. You have got to realize that doing things for you is not a selfish thing. It's good for your soul. It's good for your being. It's good for everything. And just loving you and loving the person you are. God made you who you are. That's all I can say about that, is He made you the person you are supposed to be, and you can only do and be to the best of your ability, but do not let those inner voices in your head from anyone in your life drag you down and make you feel less of who you are. So, if there's any other topics that you would like me to discuss about, this one was a really hard one, and I will try to be more positive and more happy about other ones, but this is a pretty fresh thing that I've just found out, and I'm still healing from it. And I think life is a process, and I will be healing for a long time from a lot of things. And I just thought if I could help one person from my story or from any stories that I have, that this will be all worth it. So just leave in the comments below of what you would like me to say, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and take care and love each other.